The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, Heckma Harrison, and Newy Scruggs.
Off-season Players Lounge. Let's ride.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Danny McCray is here. Heckma Harrison is here. Barry Church is here. I am Newy Scruggs. Let's get into Cowboys topics here. As we are now on year 27, the Dallas Cowboys not participating in the Super Bowl. Well, no, now we're year 28. Year 28.
Bro,
I ain't come out like that, though.
we done had 2 shows since the Super Bowl came on. Now he was, okay, all right, yeah,
No,
okay.
I'm actually working on a commentary right now, and I'm just like, you know, it was inspired by you guys here and the Hopium.
The Hopium.
The Hopium.
It's a dangerous drug.
I'm fresh out.
You out of there?
Fresh out. Oh, you out of hope? I'm fresh out. Oh, your refill don't come in until April.
It's all year. It's coming.
It comes at draft time. At draft time.
I get the it.
Shut up. I got these cheese.
God.
Give me that draft hit. It's Thursday night. Give it to me Thursday. Thursday at 6 before the draft starts. Like, hit me. Don't nobody draft like the Cowboys. Look, Cowboys top 3 drafted team, but yes. Then I just like, okay, so all season fans are frustrated. Fans are frustrated, and we go to enter to the combine, and then we're getting ready for the draft. We're all going back in. Yeah. We're all going back in. Free agency, we're going to be right there. Jerry's got this thing down, man. We're back there. So
No, stop saying we.
Most of us.
Okay, all right.
The fan base.
Yeah, okay, the fan base.
I like that.
The fan
base.
The fan base. So I'm like, the fan base is going to go right back in. You say you quitting, it's like the people that said, well, I'm not watching the NFL, but kneeling. Record ratings
Skyrocketed.
Oh, so you didn't watch? Huh? So you ain't watching? Okay, there you go. Everybody watch. Everybody watch it. So yes. And amongst that hopium, last night I wanted to get you guys' thoughts.
Okay.
Because Jerry talked about drafting a quarterback out in Mobile, the Senior Bowl in Alabama. He mentioned that Max Duggan of TCU was the most impressive quarterback he saw down there. I talked to Max last night at the Davey O'Brien Award. So, gentlemen, the Cowboys happen to use a pick on Max Duggan. Go around. We'll start with you, Church. Thoughts?
It depends on what round we talking. Like Max Duggan, he's a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. If we're talking, maybe second, third day, 4th through 7th round, I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that.
Day 3?
Day 3. I'm okay with day 3. But, a top 3 rounds on Max Duggan, I'm not a huge fan of that. And I understand, I think he's going to go down as one of the better college quarterbacks in the game. I just don't see his game translating to the pros like that. And, we've seen it happen time and time again. You see a Tebow out there. Not saying he's Tebow. I think he's a better passer than Tebow. But we've seen how, great college quarterbacks don't necessarily translate to good NFL quarterbacks.
Something like Baker?
I don't even think he's that. I don't know. I
can't put him there.
I can't put him.
I'm just saying,
I can't put him as good as Baker. So I'm a fan of 4th through 7th, third day. We can spend a pick on him. Maybe get Will and those guys to develop him a little bit. But as far as a day 1 or day 2, I'm not a huge fan of that.
I was hoping you wasn't going with that crazy article by Mike Fisher about C.J. Stroud, which I thought was good.
They had the nerve to put that on. What was that on?
Pro
today?
Football.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. But I'm not entertaining that. I'm going to where you're going with Duggan. If you think about where we were with backup quarterbacks, Will Grier, Cooper Rush, he would fall in line as somebody that would be behind Dak. So I'm with BC on that. Third day guy. As far as drafting him. And I think that's where everybody ideally has him anyway. I don't think no one's jumping out the cake for him to be first round, second round talent level. At least I don't think so. Not that I've heard. But we see how valuable a backup quarterback can be to this organization. And look, man, Cooper Rush, I ain't done on Cooper Rush. We might have to make some offers there to Cooper Rush. Not let him up out of here.
I'm waiting for somebody to say that because I'm like, we talking about Duggan. We act like this man did come in and go undefeated.
He did.
He came in and did exactly what he was asked to do. He protected the ball and he held his team together while Dak Prescott was out.
4-1 as a starter.
Now Max Duggan, all right.
Max.
I'm just telling you. Listen, and we've seen, like I said, we've seen it happen over and over again, especially with these Cinderella teams. You've seen guys who play on these Cinderella teams, and they go throughout the season, they have amazing seasons. And then when they get against the top competition, the competition that you're likely going to see in the NFL as a whole, when you play against a Georgia who has a team full of that NFL type competition, then you see what the true story is with a guy like that. Yeah. Now, can it just be that TCU was outmatched, from top to bottom, and then he didn't really have much to play with?
Absolutely.
That is absolutely one of the possibilities.
That was true.
Yes, that is absolutely.
Was true.
You were in attendance. You saw that.
Ninth grade team, varsity team.
I know. So but when you think about drafting a guy like that, you have to also remember that is the case. The guy was playing. When he was playing in the Big 12 against, no offense to the Big 12, but it's Big 12. Yeah. They lost to Kansas State. They lost to Kansas State over there. But when he got
MVP playing what conference?
SEC, he started SEC. He got the brakes blew off of him by not Super Bowl MVP. My bad. I'm talking about Jalen. I'm finna get on my Jalen.
Look at you. It's a false start.
Regroup. Penalty. Hold on. He talking about Texas Tech. Anyways,
yeah.
You got two of them.
Come on, man.
Look, and I'll say this about Pat.
What round did Patrick Mahomes get drafted in?
First.
So you already said he not going in the first round.
But you just said Big 12, like the Big 12.
No, the Big 12 now. How many teams they got?
10.
The Big 12 now. All right. When you talk about the competition that they played against when they played against the SEC team is not the same. Not even close.
So. And I bring this up.
Third day guy. So third day.
So I brought it up because it reminded me of Dak Prescott from the standpoint.
Undrafted.
Dak Prescott.
No. Purdy. Now I'm kidding.
So you say that his name was mentioned at the press conference. Max Duggan said, "Hey, look, you know what? You got Skylar Thompson out here who was out here playing games. You got Brock Purdy. Does that give you hope?" And it made me think about Dak Prescott going to the Senior Bowl, who won the Senior Bowl MVP, even though the most hyped player was Carson Wentz and Jason Garrett and the Cowboys coaching staff coached him. But we saw and heard some of those same type of things. But the thing you kept hearing about Dak Prescott that I heard about Max Duggan was he was a leader of men, the kind of guy that people feel is coachable. Another quarterback I want to throw out there as we start to go into this whole premise of Cooper Rush, free agent, Will Greer, who knows, Hendon Hooker at Tennessee.
I liked him. Having
a really good year till he got hurt. All the things you hear about, just good leader of men. So thoughts about the kid from Tennessee?
I like him. That was number 5, right? Yeah, he has a huge arm. I seen that guy when he was playing against, I want to say Alabama. They were playing against.
I was at your crib.
Yeah. I was watching that in my crib. Man, the dude just, flick of a wrist, kind of like Aaron Rodgers, where he can flick the wrist and just go on 60-some yards. Now, I think he's a raw talent. I think he still got some. Yeah, I think he still has some things to develop as far as reading defenses and going through progressions. And when it's not there, check it down, all that good stuff. But as far as talent goes, I think he has it all. I think he has a boatload of it. Has a strong arm. He's athletic out there, so he can buy time for his receivers. He can also run the ball as well. So I think that would be a more interesting prospect than Max Duggan going into the backup scenario. Because I feel like Max Duggan is basically a little bit more athletic than Cooper Rush. That's just my opinion on it. But if you bring a guy like Herndon in here, still maybe a second, third day type of guy, I think he can develop him. Yeah, day two guy. I think you can develop him, and he could be a solid backup, for Dak Prescott if they were to go that route.
I like him. I like for all the reasons that you just said, especially the arm strength, as you stated. It's really hard to evaluate college quarterbacks these days because of the systems that they play in. They just don't ask a lot of them as far as what you said about reading defenses. So you don't know. Guys are throwing to an area versus throwing guys open, and that's the difference in the NFL. But I like the prospect of it. For me, I just returned back to, Dak and his maturation as a quarterback through the league. Those were some of the things that we were asking about him, reading defenses, just footwork, all of those things as well. So those are some of the, because I didn't study him that way to even know, does he have those things? Can he read defenses? Does he have the great mechanics, velocity on his ball, what have you? But, I like him. I like him. I don't have a whole lot of negative things to say about him.
Yeah, one thing about Dak, and this goes back to my other point, Dak played in the SEC, and Dak showed some athleticism that matched teams like LSU, teams like Alabama. When he went to Mississippi State that year, them dudes was out there playing crazy ball. Where you was like, nah, we ain't never seen no Mississippi State guy play like this. All right, so playing against that type of competition. Same thing with the guy from Tennessee.
Yeah.
Who is he playing against? When you talk about being able to read coverages, being able to do certain things, when you playing against a Nick Saban coach defense, then you have to assume that's probably the closest that you're going to get as far as scheme-wise as playing against the NFL type of game. He had a hell of a game.
He did.
He played a hell of a game. So when you're just looking at the type of competition that they play against and the athleticism, I'm absolutely going way higher on him than I am going with Max Duggan. That's no shot at Max Duggan. He did what he was supposed to do at TCU and actually elevated and went way above that. But if I'm picking and I'm being honest about the potential and the experience that you had throughout college that shows the proof of what you can be in the league and how ready you can be, I'm looking at the SEC guy.
Perfect. This is good because it's just leading me along. So we know Jerry Jones is not going to use a first-round draft pick on a quarterback. We know this. He's only done it once. It's the first ever pick they made, Troy Aikman, 1989. Haven't done it since. So when you talk about the quarterback position, and Jerry spoke in Alabama, we need to take one each year. Hendon Hooker is going to be a day 2 guy, round 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Duggan, most likely 4, could maybe slip into 3. Are you comfortable using your 2nd or 3rd round pick on a quarterback, Danny, for Hendon Hooker?
Man.
What you got?
Who's my first round pick? Is it the offensive lineman that I need?
Let's just say it is.
Defensive lineman you need?
Defensive lineman, let's say it's one of those.
Linebacker you need?
If we get an offensive lineman, I'm okay with that. But I'm going to still sit here like I continue to say every year, and we hit on Tyler Smith, thank goodness.
Yeah.
But now we still got other guys who we have question marks with, right? And like you go back to the years, and you want to be Jason Garrett and all that stuff. You go back to the years where we were feared as a football team is when we had the offensive line that had Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, Travis Frederick. When we had those guys, that's when teams were like, man, I don't want to line up against them dudes.
And you are a running team.
Yeah.
Your head coach your head coach now is not a running.
Well, we got back to running the ball more last year than we have since Jason Garrett was out. Can we agree on that? When he was like, hey man, we need to run the ball more. With Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott, we was averaging almost 20 carries, 20 to 25 rushes a game.
But he's about passing the ball.
Yeah.
So that's.
We still need the offensive lineman to pass block and run block.
Okay, Hack, your shot.
Well, you know what, Newey? I've been around you now for an entire year, and I know when you're laying breadcrumbs. And this is a breadcrumb moment right now for you, and I just don't want to follow where you're taking me. Because, look, no. The answer is no. I wouldn't feel comfortable there. The need is too much in other areas to take a quarterback in the second round. You have to get a linebacker. You have to get a defensive lineman. Offensive lineman. There's positional need. Wide receiver. We're back. All right, we got to make a good decision. Not a guy that develop. We don't need no red shirts. No red shirts this year. So this is hit the ground running year for everybody to come in.
This is unfair, bro, because we ain't even go over free agency or nothing. Like now I'm sitting there thinking, like, what do we get in free agency? Like who's on the team by the time the draft comes, right? Who's on the squad?
Just sprinkle.
He didn't skip the whole free agency process.
It's okay.
And went all the way to draft.
I wanted to stop it for y'all.
Hey, I'm glad you said that. I'm like, you know what? I ain't even think about who's still on the squad at that time.
I've got an ending to this.
Yeah, of course.
The answer is heck no. I mean, I would not. No, Herndon, no. I mean, like my boy Heck said. I mean, there's too many needs that we got to have out there. What we gonna do at corner? Right now, we got a guy coming off of a broken foot and a free agent who tore his Achilles in Anthony Brown. So outside of Diggs, who we got at corner? I think we need to do something at corner. Like you said, linebacker, got some guys in the trenches that we need to resolve out there. What we gonna do at safety? I know we got Hooker and Kurtz still under contract. I think they got one more year left in their deals.
Wilson's a free agent.
I mean, there's a lot of guys that we need to take care of, or guys that we need to bring in to fill those things. I don't think we need. Plus, we got Cooper Rush.
That's what happens. That's what happened with the Cowboys because we don't go out and we don't make those big free agency moves that we got to get it all in the draft. We get in free agency some of those pieces that we need. We can go get them. We seen Philly go get Ndamukong Suh in the middle of next season.
Yeah.
Like there are people that you can go get outside of the draft. You can bring a big time free agent in here and have them ready to go and make that be one of the biggest free agent moves ever. When the last time you seen the Cowboys do that outside of Amari Cooper?
Brandon Carr, but that was years ago.
Well, they made that trade for
This
Mark
century.
Cooper. He flipped it.
Is Steven and Jerry gonna put that money out
I'm just
there,
saying,
though,
but
to
you
get
don't
him?
see it, but you can. Which sometimes you hope man, there's some guys out there we can, that if they were on this team, I think we'd be a lot better.
Come on, pull the curtain back. What you got?
Please. We wait. I feel like you wrote this down.
We following right into it.
Come on.
Howie Roseman used a second-round pick on Jalen Hurts, and everyone was killing him in Philadelphia, and he was killed amongst draft nicks of what are you doing? You've got Carson Wentz. You've paid him all this money. Here's your guy. And they said, you know what? Here's a quarterback, and we think he can do something here. I was skeptical. A lot of people were skeptical. So the whole thought about having a quarterback, and Jerry's already put this out here, I do wonder, where do they go? What do they decide to do? We know it won't happen in round one, but I am very curious to think about what it is they decide to do. And when I just think of quarterbacks here, I've not dived into it deeply. I don't even think about the first round guys because I know that's not going to happen here. But when you talk about a Hendon Hooker, and just the points you made about him, this is a guy who was doing it in the SEC who was a Heisman Trophy candidate. If he doesn't get hurt, that brother could have won it. He was playing some outstanding football here. Max Duggan, the guy that Jerry spoke about. So, when Jerry's talking about people, he's actually paying attention. That maybe that's where they go. Yes, Cooper Rush could come back. It's going to cost you a little bit. Will Grier, I still think Will Grier has potential to play here. Mm-hmm. And if they can develop Cooper Rush, I'd like to think they could keep developing Will Grier. But it's something to me in a 17-game season now with Dak Prescott and this other quarterbacks across this league, you must be working on the quarterback. It's like recruiting now. All ABC, always be recruiting, always be drafting the quarterback. And the Cowboys say they want to jump on board with that. So
I will say this. I'm not opposed to putting somebody behind Prescott just to put a little pressure on him. Just a little. You seen what we did to that defense.
Just for the competition.
Just for the competition alone. That draft year when Quinn came in, we got 11 draft picks all on defense, and they you seen what happened with that. So I'm not opposed to putting just a little bit of pressure on him just to make sure his game is on point.
Third round.
Okay.
I'm okay with third round.
All right, let's get a break in here. Today, you can start franchising, guys. We'll go around the room. Who would you franchise if you were talking to Jerry Jones? Your recommendation. I want an executive educational recommendation for who you use the draft pick, but the franchise tag on with Danny McCray, Heckma Harrison, Barry Church, and New East Coast. The Players Lounge brought to you by Tostitos on DallasCowboys.com radio.
With Smoothie King's original Angel Food and new Angel Food Slim without added sugar, you no longer have to choose between treating yourself and hitting your goals this summer. You don't have to choose between great taste and feeling great. Because at Smoothie King, every blend is made with whole fruits and no syrups, so you can satisfy your cravings without compromise. The only choice you will need to make is which one is best for you. Try our classic Angel Food or the new Angel Food Slim, blended without added sugar. Smoothie King. Rule the day.
Attention Cowboys fans looking for the best shave of your life. There's a new official razor of the Dallas Cowboys, Shave Logic. Imagine not having to buy blades as often and getting more smooth shaves than your old razor, guaranteed or your money back. After more than 10 years of research and over 150 company patents, ShaveLogic is proud to offer Cowboys fans a special offer. For a limited time, visit ShaveLogic.com and get a free $10 gift card with your purchase. Go to ShaveLogic.com now for more smooth shaves guaranteed.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. You hear that? I'm a torrential downpour. Torrential? What's that even mean? It means you can't see out of your windshield. And if you have the wrong car insurance, you might have to make it rain to fix your bumper. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Back to the Players Lounge.
The 2023 Monster Energy AMA Supercross Championship returns to AT&T Stadium on February 25th, 2023. Don't miss out on the premier qualifying round for the Supercross Future AMA Nationals Championship. Get your tickets today at SeatGeek.com, the official ticketing provider of AT&T Stadium.
Hackman Harrison. Thank you for the read.
Yes, sir.
Danny McCray, Barry Church, Newey Scruggs, Players Lounge, brought to you by Tostitos. All right, today, first day, you can start franchise tagging, guys. Start with you, Mr. McCray. Who is the one player you would put the tag on if you were making a recommendation to one Gerald Wayne Jones, the owner of the team?
Is this the assumption that like I have to make a recommendation?
Yes, you have to.
You got to.
Like I gotta pick somebody.
Your recommendation could be nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about the record. Your recommendation is whatever. You are the consultant for Jerry Jones, so you make whatever recommendation you want to, sir.
Man, if I'm consulting with Jerry Jones, I'm gonna say this here. I feel like the only option you got if you're gonna franchise somebody is Tony Pollard. But if you do that, you better make dang sure that you get a deal done before you pay him that franchise tag money. Just get him a deal. Short, don't have to be 5 years, don't have to break the bank. If you're sure that you can get something like that, then yeah. But I just don't know, man. And I don't want to. I'm former player, so I don't want to hate on the running backs. But that stuff they were saying about running backs and how long they last,
it's true.
I think it's true.
Mm-hmm. He's coming off a gruesome injury too. He's coming off an injury.
It's true. So as good as a running back can be in the first 2-3 years, you know that year 4, year 5. That you're going to have a significant drop-off, and there's going to be another guy who's coming in who you're going to have to look at and paying as well. So if I had to do one, Tony Pollard, but right now I'm like, I don't know, man. I need to know what's the return look like?
You know, I'm going to base this off of past behavior of the Cowboys in the franchise tag. They have tagged the wrong guys just continuously or not worked out a deal instead of giving the guy a franchise tag. And for me, if I'm talking to Jerry Jones, and I speak the King's language fluently, but I would say I wouldn't give not now nutter franchise tag would be issued this year or anytime soon unless we're talking about the big briefcase. Now, he will get franchise tag because he's not going anywhere we can't work this out. But any of these other guys, I mean, even with Tony Pollard, what I would do is I would try to treat it as though Tony Pollard didn't have the injury. I would allow him to test the market to see what's out there because teams are going to be able to dictate that to you. All right, so allow him that courtesy. But I wouldn't be in a situation, especially not for safety, $14 million.
$14.5.
$20 million at linebacker. There's no way. There's no way.
The only one you can do is 10.
That's it.
That's it.
The salary cap went up, and you still might not.
And that would be last resort for me. That would be like the 11th hour.
And that's gonna help Zeke with his
contract.
This is gonna help. Like, man, so what we doing?
Look, I'm with you heck on this one. I'm not passing any out. I'm not passing any out, especially after the numbers I done seen. When you got linebackers hitting 20, safeties 14 and a half. I mean, those numbers are ridiculous right now. So I'm not franchise tagging anybody. When it comes down to Pollard, which is the only, scenario where I would throw one out there if it was forced to. Look, I'm saying Pollard, man. I'm bringing Pollard back. And if our guy, Zeke isn't willing to take that cut, then gotta let bygones be bygones. Let him hit the road. Because I feel like depending on how well Tony can come back from this injury, which he's young. I think he can bounce back and still have that explosiveness. I think he's shown to everybody that he can be that bell cow back. I think those days of people thinking he can't take the beating, you only got to give him 15 touches per game, or you'll max him out. I think those thoughts are gone. I think he's gotten to the point.
He's broken.
That was like a horse collar back.
He was split.
It was a horse collar back tackle. I mean, I think it was more of a fluke than a wear down injury.
How many years you giving Tony?
I give him 4.
Give him 4 years? All right.
4, 8 a year.
With the franchise tag being 10?
Yeah,
he
right.
What are you
talking about? 4 for 10 a year. 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 There we go.
He's trying to get him on the Walmart cheap. Damn.
Who your agent?
Let's go target prices. We're going to target prices.
That man said,
But y'all think he's gonna get more than that?
He's in the franchise 10.
Hold on. So y'all think he's gonna get more than that on the market?
He gonna have to.
I think he'll get more than that.
Even with the broken leg.
Get at least
even
10.
with the broken leg.
Well, somebody gonna say, hey man, he's gonna be able to come back off that. You said it wasn't. It wasn't. He's young, but now if he take 8. he better be calling somebody NFLPA because he gonna be like,
yes, indeed.
Who was that trying to work their own deal? That Richard Sherman.
Yeah, Sherman. Yeah, I think it was Sherman.
Yeah. He's like, hey, man, I don't think so.
Nah, you need to go. Tear that up. That's a wrong. They would PA wouldn't even let him do that.
10. Let's do 10.
Got a young man over at the Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
5 and below.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Come meet Tony.
To the dollar,
Come meet Tony Pollard during free agency. 5. His podcast agent at every church.
But hold on,
the number 10.1, he gonna be the lowest.
But hold on. We're talking about a guy that definitely, he wasn't a starter though. We ain't saying like the guy was, he had a great season. He had a great season.
Pro bowler.
But let's just say he
1,000
wasn't like he was a starter.
Did he get 1,000?
Nah, but I'm still. It's still a question mark for me about the bell cow back. If you go to a running team, this dude gonna take 22 carries a game.
But see, I don't think he would. I think he would be more suitable in like how McCaffrey is used in San Francisco right now. Kind of like they pass him, run him a little bit, have somebody there to spell him as well. I think he would go to a team in that regard. But I'm still thinking 8 ain't too bad. You know what I'm saying? 8 ain't too bad.
So he a pass catching guy. He out here and running and doing all that. He only get 8.
I think so. Because he's like Kamara.
Salary cap went up to 2. Is it 2?
This is 1 year though. Yeah. This is 1 year though.
10-1 for a running back. But
what's the salary cap this year? How much did that go?
It should be going up crazy.
It did. It was like 2.
And the Cowboys are $7 million, projected $7 million over the cap right now. So
let me tell you something. We already know. I've been saying. I'm just telling you. Come on, man. You already know you can save a lot. They're gonna try to save some with the. You know what? Come on, go ahead.
So we're talking about Tony Pollard. If we're being just realistic and honest, he's a part-time player. He's a really good part-time player, but he's not a full-time player, and his pass bro is not good.
Would you say he's a Kamara, or would you not even put him up there that moment?
No,
because Kamara splits with those guys in there.
Not even the same.
He's not.
Nah? Okay.
Not at all. Because man, Kamara's so dynamic as a pass catching running back and running the ball. I would. Look, not to take anything away from Tony Pollard. This is what I'm saying. As far as the market is concerned, I think Jerry's already set the market at the running back position before. You don't want to do it again. All right? You're not going to do it again. The biggest decision that you have to make is on Ezekiel Elliott, and will he be here next year? Kansas City, all the teams that played in the playoffs showed you the success to the running game. Bring in some 3, some 4, 5th round guys, even some undrafted free agent guys. They can get it done for you. But this whole notion of you got to have that one guy that can do it, like the Jacobs, I think all of those days are slowly dissipating until another team brings it back. And I don't see him.
Let me tell you something. That CMC, he a different guy. Christian McCaffrey's a different guy.
Yeah.
And I think on any team, his ability to run the ball between the tackles, catch the ball, and create mismatches. I think he's pretty much one of a kind. And he's been doing it long enough where you're like, hold on, he ain't slowing down yet. And he deal with injuries and he still comes back. But when San Fran got him, we was all like, it's about to be nasty over there in San Fran.
I think Christian McCaffrey is such a different beast, man. It's hard to compare a lot of people to him and what he does, and also the point that you just made, his durability. I think that's the biggest issue because of his talent level and him running outside. I think Shanahan last year, he showed you that he even has to think differently about Christian McCaffrey and how he uses him instead of the kind of running scheme that he wants to use, which is pounded inside the tackles, and CMC ain't that.
Hey, why are we talking about McCaffrey? I just want to give a shout out to the dunk contest winner. Man, I was watching that thing. I said, look at that. We got McCaffrey, then we got my man come out here and win the dunk contest. It was a big time dunk. Y'all want to hate on the guy?
All 3 of them.
I'm not
White
hating
man
him.
Can't jump. A remake coming out.
No, he absolutely. No, he for
I'll
real.
let you watch the video.
But here's the thing. He crushed it. He crushed it. He crushed
did.
it. But it just pains me to see this. Old school.
Well, we know. He just said, I'm not watching the remake. He didn't give it a shot.
Old school.
I'm good.
The dunk contest is just, man, dude, it's horrible.
They mad at LeBron because he ain't do it.
They put it all on him.
I don't even want to see LeBron in the dunk contest anymore.
I'm talking about when he was young. They he didn't do it when he was younger. He made all the stars not do it. Nah, man, y'all gonna hate on him anyway. All we gonna do is he's away for the reason to hate on LeBron.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, man, the All-Star game in general is garbage, so it's bad all the way around.
All-Star weekend ain't, though.
I bet it ain't.
I bet it ain't. You ain't lying about that either.
Okay, all right, yeah. Chris McCaffrey is different. No, he is. He's very different. I don't think there's any comparison to what he is doing as far as a pass catcher and being able to run in between the tackles, outside on stretches and zone reads. Yeah. But his durability is an issue. And now Tony Pollard,
Whoop, there it is.
So let me throw this here. If they franchise Tony Parks $10.1 million, if he's making 10, we know you're going to have to cut Ezekiel Elliott's number down. What do you cut him down to?
What is it? Is it 12?
He's at 16, right? And right at 16.
Oh,
yeah, he's high.
What number? So you got 10. So what are you going to put Elliott down for? And then we're going to combine the salary. So we got 10.1, and what are you going to pay Zeke?
I'm not answering that question. I'm not going to goodness, because it'll be outrageous. I'm not even going to say it. Just know it'll be goodness. Yeah, he
significant.
Might go somewhere. I was wrong, Church. I told you. 16?
16. Not 12. You were thinking 12?
Ain't nobody paying him 16
No.
out there on the street.
But I think he knows that. I think if he has people around him that's really talking truth to him, I think he knows that those days of 16 are over, and he ain't going to touch 16. And if he wants to stay here, he's going to have to take a significant cut, and it's going to be somewhere in the ballpark of
over half,
I'm saying
over half.
Yeah, over half. So $3 to $5 million is going to be his ballpark, and that's going to take everything in him to say, I'm going to stay here when I was just making 16. Now I'm making between 3 and 5.
Where would he go? I'm trying to think of teams off the top of my head.
Arizona, they got James Conner, but I don't think James Conner is the back that Zeke is. Carolina. Oh no, they got the two young bucks over
Rams.
there. The Rams.
The Rams maybe one. Okay. Yeah, I mean,
that's tough. That's a tough decision to make. Especially, I think the key thing would be if the team definitely franchise tag Tony Pollard, then that would just mean the demise of.
You have to, yeah.
And the reason I bring that up, because if you hit Tony at 10 and you say 3 to 5 as you brought up, are you ready to devote $13 to $15 million to the running back position here?
That's a lot of bread.
When you're not a running team?
When you're not a running team, and you've seen the two teams in this year's Super Bowl win without elite running backs. Doing it by a committee. We've seen the Chiefs do it by committee. Yeah. We saw the Rams win the Super Bowl by committee. That's ultimately where I'm kind of getting to is how much money are you willing to invest in a position that you have devalued by switching your head coaches, and one player who's clearly, the statistics show, is no longer the player he used to be, and another player's coming off an injury. So we're talking maybe $13 to $15 million on one guy coming off an injury, another guy whose skills have steadily gone down. We comfortable with that, guys?
Nah,
not 13, but I'd be nervous to just kind of dismiss Zeke because we've seen how guys come back from injuries. Not saying that Pollard's, leg injury is the same as Gallup's ACL, but I mean, when Gallup came back, he was nowhere near the type of athlete he was before the ACL injury. So
So the answer is no.
Yeah.
That you don't do that. And then I think if you handle your needs in the draft and you go out there and you get you a real good offensive lineman, you show up and you return
a real good what?
Offensive lineman. Yeah. And that gives you the leg up to say, all right, we may not need $13 million. We can go get a 5th, 6th round guy.
Or I'm paying my head coach. He's the offensive coordinator. Let's figure out a way to get this done.
Right.
Like what? It's teams around the league. Like you said, was it Kadarius Toney? Is the guy?
You talking about Pacheco. Pancho. Yeah.
Pacheco.
It can be done.
7th round.
They drafted a guy in the 1st round. My LSU guy. Man was a healthy scratch.
Yeah.
Let's take a break.
That hurt.
Let's take a break.
You got to perform, man.
When we come back, I want to go back into something you just said right there. Let's dive a little bit more into this running back situation because I definitely think Cowboy fan needs to try to think a little bit more outside the box when we start talking about numbers here. And there's other places you got to fill. Let's do it with Barry Church, Heckman Harrison. He's Danny McCray. New East Coast Players Lounge brought to you by Tostitos right here on DallasCowboys.com radio.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. You hear that? I'm a torrential downpour. Torrential? What's that even mean? It means you can't see out of your windshield. And if you have the wrong car insurance, you might have to make it rain to fix your bumper. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
With Smoothie King's original Angel Food and new Angel Food Slim without added sugar, you no longer have to choose between treating yourself and hitting your goals this summer. You don't have to choose between great taste and feeling great. Because at Smoothie King, every blend is made with whole fruits and no syrups, so you can satisfy your cravings without compromise. The only choice you will need to make is which one is best for you. Try our classic Angel Food or the new Angel Food Slim, blended without added sugar. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Back to the Players Lounge.
All right, D-Mac, this for you. Registration is now open for 2023 Dallas Cowboys Youth Football and Cheer Camps presented by Invisalign. Use promo code SPRINGBREAK23 for $25 off camp. $25 off camps on March 14th and 15th, and take advantage of early bird pricing when you sign up for summer camp by May 12th. Visit DallasCowboys.com/camps.
Heck, that is right. You better sign up because we only have 3 camps at AT&T Stadium this year. And 2 of them will be in March. So if you want to see AT&T Stadium and you want to experience that football camp that we have on those fields, you better make sure you sign up for the spring break camp because you're not gonna get another shot.
Getting while the getting is good.
Come on out here. Talking about, hey man, come on, man.
I ain't got it. I ain't got it. You heard it here. I ain't got it.
All right, I was checking out the rushing numbers here. And 1 through 22. So Josh Jacobs led the league in rushing, 1,653 yards. And at 22, that's where Ezekiel Elliott comes in. By the way, Tony Pollard was 16th in rushing, 16 games, 1,007 yards, average 5.2 yards a carry. And his longest run was 57 yards. Looking right here, Elliott, of the top 22 running backs, Elliott and Najee Harris were both tied when it came to average, 3.8 yards a carry.
What's Jacobs' average?
Jacobs' average was 4.9.
That's huge.
He was 4.9. Nick Chubb was 5.1.
Oh.
Miles Sanders was 4.9. Travis Etienne was 5.1. Aaron Jones was 5.3.
He was splitting carries too. He like a Tony Pollard. They reworking his deal too.
Yeah, Tony Pollard 5.2. As far as just going back here and looking at Najee Harris, 17 games, 1,034 yards. Ezekiel Elliott, 15 games, 876 yards. Of the top 22 running backs, and you look at their longest carry, Zeke had his long was tied with Alvin Kamara for the lowest at 27 yards.
Yeah. And don't even compare him to Najee Harris because I think that's a totally different situation.
What
they was working with quarterback up there too, and the defenses that they would have to go against based off what was available to him.
He had a foot injury all year long, so he was basically hurt from camp.
And playing against a stacked box with
And see, this is what I was talking about earlier in the season. All right, when it comes to Ezekiel Elliott, man, for all those young players, don't you go on that field if you feeling injured. Because what we talk about now in the offseason, well, you know what? Those numbers dropped a little bit, so.
Talking about it was Najee, right? Who had the hurt foot?
Najee had the hurt foot. Those numbers, they not averaging out the way they used to be. We're going to have to take some money on you. But when the season's around, you are a warrior. You're the heartbeat of this team. We need you to go out there and don't worry about all that stuff in the offseason. We got you when you come back. Young guys,
knee brace Zeke.
Make sure you good before you go on that field,
man. The year before, because that count on Zeke when he had messed his knee
now
up.
They had him out 2 years in a row.
2 years in a row.
Oh man, he's declined. I'm just saying.
So going back into the when we talked about the numbers portion, potentially $15 million if you decide to franchise Pollard at 10, and let's say you give Elliott a contract that's $3 to $5 million, so it's 15. You've seen the Super Bowl. You can win with a running back committee. Where the Cowboys messed up, I think we'll all agree, was that wide receiver committee last year didn't work. They're going to have to put some more dollars towards that. Would we agree?
Hell yeah.
You don't have to pay CD. You already done paid Gallup.
But you got guys who looking to come on prove it deals. Me, I'm just going to continue to say, if Odell Beckham is is healthy, why not approve it deals what he's looking for? Why not give him that shot? If you're looking for guys to be difference makers on the squad. I mean, you ran out there with Michael Gallup still trying to get his knee and ankles right this year. Why not give OBJ a shot? If you're looking for free agent, because you know the dudes, they're not going to go pay a bunch of money to get a guy.
You saw ESPN had mentioned that too. They're talking about best fits, and they put him in Dallas. But here's the question, Hack. Are you comfortable putting more dollars? I mean, first off, you got to put more dollars in. Is that where you want to go? But I just believe that you can't. I'm thinking running back dollars have to be less, while receiving core has to be more. Be it Odell Beckham Jr., anybody, you've got to put more money in.
I just don't approve going into the season like we did last year. I refuse to believe that anybody that had put their thinking cap on thought that they could go into a season with just CeeDee Lamb, Dennis Houston, Simi Fehoko, and whoever else they were trying to run up.
They did it before?
No, I understand. It didn't work. It didn't work. The result again. It didn't work in those moments where you absolutely had to have a guy, a lead guy. CeeDee Lamb didn't establish himself as that receiver until I think 5-6 games into the season. Odell Beckham gives you a proven commodity. I'm willing to go with a guy like Odell Beckham, knowing damn well what he provides for your team. Now, the other question is, how's the knee, the health, all those things that you just asked. But I also am looking at other free agent wide receivers that's out there.
Well, no, can't.
Yeah, you can't. I'm just saying. But other free agent wide receivers that's out there. There are some guys out there on the street or maybe in the draft that you could go and you could pinpoint that could help this team. The mistake that we made with Jalen Tolbert, we cannot make with another soul in the draft. You cannot make that with another soul. But Nui, they made a mistake last year. They made a mistake last year with their overestimation of what the wide receiving core was, and they cannot approach this season the same way.
They overestimated two things: what Dak Prescott could do with less, and what their wide receivers core was. Because they looked at it and they said, man, we paying the guy 40. You get him out there with a CeeDee Lamb or Michael Gallup. Yeah, I think you underestimated how long it was going to take him to get back to being 100%. And you underestimated all that, and that's how you ended up with the receiving core that you had, where Dalton Schultz and CeeDee Lamb were the two guys.
Speaking of Dalton Schultz, free agent.
Man, loved him.
Pay him.
I loved him. I loved him. You know.
I'm not going to reset the market with him, but I'm gonna offer him a deal.
Because what's the franchise for tight end right now? 11?
13.
I tell him, man, it was fun, man. You know what? I love Dalton Schultz.
You're not going to offer him nothing?
Nothing. It's over. It's over. Because we got young guys. Ferguson, we got the future's already here.
Yeah. So, it ain't the same. I'm just telling you.
No.
It ain't the same. If you're going to keep Dak Prescott here, okay, it's tough for you to say, I'm going to keep you and then get rid of your favorite, best target and your safety blanket.
Get another one.
Yeah, I mean, it's that easy.
It's just where you prioritizing things. So if we say we need help in the wide receiver room, we got to pay somebody up over there. Tight end, we got the running back situation. We need an offensive lineman. Then you go on the defensive side, we need some guys in the trench. This is where you prioritize.
You got some guys that you need to, you got some guys, bro. You got some ways to free up some cap space. All right, so let's not act like we got some guys who it's $16 million on your running back.
We just talked about how that's got to get cut down.
But he's the only one.
Yeah, no,
right,
we can't do that. $13 million is just not gonna happen.
So, how much your lineman get paid?
Hey, Taco, I think it's 19.
Yeah, we ain't going there.
So if you're talking a franchise tag of $13 million for a tight end and a running back tag of $10 million, that's potentially $23 million for two spots.
Nah, that's tough.
And they ain't the top in their position. Are they top three?
That's why I'm saying Ferg and Hendershot are my future. That's where I'm going with the tight end position. I mean, and they showed you enough. Ferguson showed you enough throughout the season that dog he's like that.
Dalton showed you enough throughout the season.
He showed you that, boy, when you scheme him up, he can find those open spaces in that zone. We was asking ourselves, how the hell is he so open?
He's the number 2 receiver on our team.
Come on now.
With CeeDee Lamb going to Pro Bowl, being that guy, he's the number 2 receiver on the team. How many big time catches? I'm talking about over the shoulder on the sideline. We said, oh man, we had no idea that Dak was going to be able to fit that ball in there and how he was going to catch that. You like, man, that's Dalton Schultz again.
All day.
I go back to Blake Jarwin. We thought Blake Jarwin was going to be that guy, and then here comes Dalton Schultz here. The Cowboys, in my opinion, have shown you they can develop tight ends. And in a marketplace where you've got limited dollars and question marks across the roster, I'm going to Lunda Wells.
I'm about to say, because
I'm saying Lunda.
Yeah, James Hanna and them up here before that. So don't be talking about developing no damn tight ends.
Jay Hanna, wherever you at, Hanna, man.
Because you're not about to do that. Talking about, they had Blake Jarwin because they was playing him and they paid him. And then another guy came out and played back.
Can I finish?
Why you just do Hanna like that?
Lunda Wells.
Y'all laughing because y'all know. That's why.
I need you to take these two guys, get them to another level, and we're going to go draft another. When Parcells was here, Parcells was all about drafting tight ends.
That's straight out.
That's what I would do.
The connection that you got between Dalton Schultz and Dak Prescott are not easy to find. And I'm not saying it's like a Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes.
But you're liking it too.
But there's the connection that you have to your quarterback, and it's hard to find.
He's not a Pro Bowl player. I can't spend $13 million, even if I have to average it.
No. I said I asked Heck if he would offer him something. Heck said no.
No, I wouldn't.
I would offer him something. If he don't take it, he don't take it. I'm not paying him $13 million a year.
You offered him last year, and it was the same thing. They said, "Hey, look, we made him an offer, but he and his agent wanted David Njoku type money. Like, we don't feel.
He'll be back. He'll come back. He'll come back when he hit the street. He realized that offer was dang good. He'll come back. And if he don't, he don't. But I'm going to offer him something.
He going to the Chargers anyway, man.
That's our show. That's our show.
Go ahead, bring him out there. K. Moore get him right.
Thank you, Barry Church.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Heckman Harrison.
Right.
Thank you, Danny McCray.
So hold on,
sorry,
D-Mac.
James.
What would you offer him, D-Mac, a year?
Man, I'm not no GM. Okay, I don't know.
But it's $13 million.
5, 6, 7.
5, 6 a year? Hold on. So I told Pollard 8 a year, and y'all lambasted me for that. And now y'all want to tell me y'all want to see.
He already got the franchise though, bro. He got franchise one time. Now he got a chance to go out there on the market and see. So if you offer him that and nobody else offer him, then he comes back
for 5, 6.
Yeah, I said I'm not a GM. I got to look at the numbers.
You tripped.
I got to look at.
You had Tony Pollard 5 and below. You got the man at the Salvation Army.
Yeah. Oh man. Thrift store.
Y'all just let him leave. I ain't gonna give him nothing.
I'm not trying to insult people. I ain't trying to insult people.
We getting him out the Salvation Army bells. Here you go.
That's what I'm starting at. That's what I'm starting at.
I found an 86 over here.
That's what I'm starting at. Hey, Schultz, hey, it's a negotiation. Come back with what you want.
Do it like they did tomorrow.
I'm not paying.
Drop him in the pot.
We'll talk to you Monday right here on Dallas Cowboys.
Get paid, Dalton. Get paid, Schultz, man. Don't let them hate on you, bro.
Damn. That's tough, boy.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!